At some point, slowing down starts to feel dangerous. You're visible, busy, maybe even winning. Yet money feels shaky and rest feels risky. This isn't rare and nothing's wrong with you. Most people don't realize they're following a script, one that rewards effort but quietly trades away freedom. And once you recognize the script, you'll know the difference between effort that builds freedom and effort that traps you. Most people don't notice the moment the script flips. They just feel pressure to keep up, to stay relevant, to never slow down. The work multiplies, the pressure rises, and somehow the room to breathe shrinks. But not everyone responds the same. Some move with precision. They're quieter, harder to read. They don't chase attention. They build things that last. From the outside, both paths look like success. But internally, they're driven by different fears. One fears being trapped, the other fears being forgotten, and they pay very different prices. You can see this split in two icons who turned the same raw material, attention, into two entirely different systems of wealth. At the height of their power, both Jay-Z and MrBeast already had what most people spend their lives chasing: money, influence, cultural relevance. But one moved in silence. He kept control and played the long game. The other chased louder stakes, bigger risks, and momentum that never slows down. This is the Wealth Project, where we don't do celebrity gossip. We decode celebrity success. We break down the psychology, mindset, and identity patterns behind the famous and powerful. If this way of thinking about wealth resonates, you're in the right room. Jay-Z and the calm that grows. Early in his career, Jay-Z learned a lesson most people never fully understand. Talent doesn't create power. Control does. When the industry wouldn't give him a fair deal, he didn't chase more exposure. He built his own label. When music alone capped his influence, he didn't flood the market with more music. He moved into brands, deals, and ownership. What this shows is something important. Jay-Z doesn't chase applause, he builds freedom. Every move removes dependency. Every deal preserves control, even if it looks slower from the outside. This is what you might call the control-first identity, built around patience, long-term thinking, and doing less with more. And it protects against one core fear: being trapped. Trapped in contracts, trapped as just talent, trapped in systems they don't control. So when pressure hits, he doesn't expand, he tightens control. He does less, but it matters more, and it pays off with bigger results over time. This is why his success often looks invisible until it suddenly isn't. The real success is built off camera, when the attention has moved on. And here's what most people miss. This kind of control isn't loud, but it's not passive either. It's strategic patience. Quiet moves that don't feel exciting in real time, but behind the scenes they're setting up bigger wins for later. There's a reason this kind of success is easy to underestimate. That calm only survives in the right environment. Change the pressure, and a different identity takes over. MrBeast and the growth that can't stop. MrBeast grew up inside a completely different pressure system. The internet doesn't reward patience. It rewards momentum. Early on, he learned a rule that shapes everything he does. If you slow down, you disappear. So he made a radical decision. Everything gets reinvested into bigger videos, louder stakes, and risks that never slow down. Nothing is held back. Everything is fuel. Bigger videos, bigger prizes, bigger teams, bigger risks. To most people, this looks reckless, but deep down, it's protective. This identity protects him against irrelevance, against stagnation, against being replaced by someone louder, faster, and cheaper. Under pressure, the instinct isn't to slow down, it's to speed up. And this growth works until it becomes mandatory. Suddenly, growth isn't a strategy, it's survival. Money isn't the reward, it's ammunition. Attention fuels more attention. Attention becomes authority. This creates something powerful: unmatched reach, authority with platforms, cultural dominance. but it also creates something fragile, a system that must keep growing just to stay alive. Growth gives you speed and visibility, but it also removes the option to slow down. And there's a moment where attention stops creating freedom and starts becoming a trap. And to be clear, this identity works. It just demands a constant answer to one question. Who's in control when the thing you built now controls you? Because when this identity breaks down, it doesn't collapse. It just keeps growing while slowly taking your control away. The two paths of success. When success starts removing options, this is where the paths split. Jay-Z uses attention to build freedom. He turns it into ownership, control, and long-term moves that buy him more time and space. He doesn't try to own everything, just the right pieces, quietly, behind the scenes. MrBeast does the opposite. He puts money back into visibility, more videos, more reach, more spectacle. The goal isn't to slow down, it's to go faster and bigger. Both strategies work, but they lead to very different outcomes. One builds stability, the other builds reach. One gives you room to breathe, the other keeps you moving. And this is where most people get stuck. They copy someone's actions without understanding what's driving them. They chase reach when they need breathing room, or they chase control when momentum is what's really needed. The danger isn't in the strategy. It's in borrowing the wrong one for what you need right now. Because underneath, there are two different ways of solving the same problem. One asks, how do I make fewer moves matter more? The other asks, how do I make more moves to create more success? Each approach brings its own price. Quiet builders carry the pressure of patience. Loud operators carry the stress of speed. And this is where the story stops being about Jay-Z and MrBeast and starts showing up in your calendar, your energy, and your stress. The pattern that quietly runs your effort. If you've ever felt behind, doing more feels like the smartest answer. More output, more visibility, more proof you're moving. Effort increases, momentum feels real. Until one day you realize you're exhausted, and slowing down makes you feel replaceable. Some people take their time and build carefully. It feels calmer, but they can get stuck because too much patience becomes hesitation. Neither identity is wrong, they're just dangerous when used at the wrong time. What protected you early can quietly limit you later. And what accelerates you now can become the thing that traps you down the road. Success always has a price. The only question is whether you're paying it consciously or blindly. Wealth rarely collapses from one bad decision. It collapses when your old identity no longer fits your current reality. Getting the steering wheel back. This is where the difference becomes clear. Jay-Z operates from what you could call the control-first identity. He uses attention to earn control, and once he has it, the spotlight isn't necessary. MrBeast operates from what you might call the growth at all costs identity. He treats attention as the prize, and everything feeds back into getting more of it. Both lead to success, but with very different costs. The mistake most people make, doing more when they should be doing less, or playing it safe when it's time to go big. Wealth grows when attention has a purpose, not when you chase it just to stay seen. If this feels familiar, it's because you're already thinking beyond tactics. You're starting to see wealth as an identity system, not a grind. The kind of power that doesn't chase. Music and YouTube were never the point. It was about the identity quietly steering your effort. Jay-Z used attention to exit. MrBeast reinvested it to grow. Both paths work, but they lead to radically different lives. If this way of thinking about wealth resonates, your next insight with The Wealth Project is right here on your screen.